A warm welcome to you in Nigeria or anywhere around the world. This is Nationwide on the NTA. We are live in Abuja. I'm Ayodeji Makinde. President Bola Tinubu has reiterated his administration's commitment to the modernization of the nation's military with the provision of resources and welfare to enable them excel. This was at the groundbreaking ceremony of a new armed forces complex in Asokoro, Abuja. The president appreciates the personnel of the military for ensuring the safety of lives and property of Nigerians, saying that the nation remains indebted to them. Details will come in our subsequent bulletins. Now, as a cornerstone of national development, a sincere study of history to understand the present will help Nigerians forge new paths for the future, particularly by taking advantage of technology. Nigeria's First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, stated this while inaugurating the National Youth Service Corps Digital Museum of Dynamic History and Television Studio at the headquarters of the scheme in Abuja. State House correspondent Adeniyi Taiwo reports.
For several years since its establishment in 1973, the National Youth Service Corps has affirmed its commitment to the promotion of Nigeria's unity in diversity by promoting culture. The establishment of this digital museum of dynamic history by the scheme is to further expand the frontiers of its mandate, leveraging digital technology in line with global best practices. Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu, while undertaking a guided tour of the museum, applauded NYSC for undertaking the project to further drive national integration and bridge gaps between youth potentials and community needs.
The Digital Museum, as I have been informed, is not merely a repository of artifacts. It is a dynamic chronicle of our shared history, values, and aspirations as a nation. It represents the various interventions the NYC members who, through their selfless service, have left indelible marks across diverse sectors. By embracing technology in this initiative, the NYC has aligned itself with global best practices, ensuring that the lessons and legacy of the scheme are accessible to all in line with the renewed hope agenda of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR to harness innovation and technology to drive digital economy.
She notes the effort by the youth to preserve and promote Nigeria's history in a contemporary world affirms their strong belief in the unity of the country.
Whether facing challenges or opportunities, Nigerian youth rise with unshakable determination, proving that their strength lies in unity and promise of a brighter tomorrow for our nation.
I hope this initiative will inspire and show the courage of the young people, encouraging them to contribute positively to the society.
As a center for historical research, the new digital museum is expected to preserve and project the historical legacies of Nigeria.
We hope that individuals will find the museum as a valuable resource, providing researchers with useful materials related to the scheme's contributions to national development.
The first three, who also inaugurated a new studio of NYC Television, also participated as a guest in a maiden studio interview of the station. In Abuja, Adini Itaiwo, NTA News.
Now, still on the matter, it is no longer news to hear people say governance is a continuum. The statement was further buttressed as the NYSC inaugurated a digitized museum of dynamic history at the scheme's headquarters in Abuja. Olayinka Ojo, in this special report, takes a look at the journey of how the museum started.
With the complexities of today's world and the quest for foreign culture by young Nigerians, on the month of January 22nd, 2022, which is 1,094 days ago, the National Youth Service Corps Scheme established an NYSC museum.
Being a prospective corps member and foreign trained, I didn't quite understand the workings of the scheme and how it operates. But being in the museum, I've gained a little bit of clarity in that.
The establishment of the museum, as explained by the NYSC, became necessary to preserve Nigeria's history as well as serve as a center for research and documentation, in which, in the long run, will serve as a source of income to the scheme. In line with federal government's digitization drive, head of the NYSC, Brigadier General Yushew Ahmed, thought it is wise to digitize the museum so as to preserve innovations, inventions, arts and artifacts of Youth Corps members and that of the scheme.
But will also become a major tourist attraction, drawing visitors who seek to understand the invaluable contributions of our youth to national development.
For cultural heritage preservation, for information purposes, digital information, and history made.
For guests, it is their desire that individuals will find the museum a valuable tool of reference while availing researchers useful materials on the contributions of the scheme to national development. Olayinka Ojo, NTA News.
Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Benjamin Kalu, has urged the government of the United Kingdom to support Nigeria's fight against corruption. He stated this in London at an event tagged UK-Nigeria Collaboration, a parliamentary strategic dialogue, which attracted Deputy Leader of the British House of Lords, Lord Collins, among other members of Parliament from Nigeria and the UK. Kalu emphasized the importance of collaboration between the two countries in tackling corruption, among other challenges. As chairman, House of Representatives Committee on Constitution Review, the Deputy Speaker also sought the support of UK's Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office in enhancing Nigeria's Constitution Review process. Illegal oil bunkering with attendant spills and consequent pollution of the environment has continued to worsen the lives and livelihoods of most riverine dwellers. This is despite concerted efforts to stem the tide by authorities. Following the recent fire incident at Bogama community in Rivers State, stakeholders are opting for a multifaceted approach towards addressing illegal oil bunkering in the Niger Delta. Robinson Derateide reports.
How to curb the rising trend of illegal oil bunkering in the Niger Delta has remained a major concern of successful government for decades. This has led to different military interventions and civil strategies to stem the tide. Stringent measures such as setting 6 vessels and products ablaze has further come under criticism for the negative impact on the environment and the economy.
In course of arresting those who were perpetrating these bunkering activities, and you are burning the products into the sea, on the land, you are equally destroying the environment.
Government should start from the creek, arrest the authorities, and then, before getting down to the common people who take the products.
If these people can have an idea of producing something that is close to a refined product, why don't you see how you negotiate with them to encourage them to have a Mondola refinery, to give their license.
State governments are also urged to collaborate in the fight against illegal oil bunkering. In Port Harcourt, Robinson Daratede, NTA News.
Now let's connect with Robinson in Port Harcourt to give more insights. Robinson, we just saw your background report on illegal oil bunkering. But it seems the more efforts to stop this menace, the bigger the problem grows.
Yes, actually, there is no doubt that the sustained effort by the federal government through the military and some of the surveillance, the pipeline surveillance teams have actually reduced the increase in oil bunkering in the Niger Delta. But it appears that the more the government is fighting this group, the more they are also regrouping into the business. But the main issue now is that government needs to collaborate with the traditional rulers according to stakeholders, and also the state government needs to put more effort to ensure that this activity is really reduced, given the fact that it has really affected the environment. The fire incident at Bogoma on the 12th of this month is a devastating incident up to now in Rivers State, although there is argument whether it was caused by equipment failure or oil bunkering activity. But we all know that oil bunkering activity is an issue in the Niger Delta and has continued to affect the economy of the country. We are also aware that the Joint Task Force JTF has launched its Operation Delta Safe Part 2, which is aimed at cracking down on these people. So we hope that this will further reduce the activities of the oil bunkers in the region.
Surely, Robinson, we expect to see a positive outcome as we try to reduce illegal oil bunkering in the Niger Delta and in Rivers State. Thanks for the updates. From Port Harcourt, we now go over to our Lagos Network Center, and Adeola will be our guide. Over to you, Adeola. A slight challenge with our Lagos Network Center. We have to disconnect with them at the moment. Let's pause for some messages. Nationwide returns shortly. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Maiduguri. Glad to have you join us. Borno State is amongst the 7 states who benefited from the Renewed Hope Employment Initiative launched by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to provide job opportunities and skills training for Nigerians, with a focus on implementing the Labor-Based Infrastructure Development Scheme, LBDIS. Hawul in Borno State was selected for the flags of the initiative aimed to provide market stalls for the rural communities to facilitate access to markets for women. Abubakar Musa reports.
The National Directorate of Employment, NTA, renewed its efforts to create employment opportunities for unemployed Nigerians, with Borno as one of the beneficiaries, where foundation-laying ceremony for the national locked-up shops took place in Agabura, Hawul local government area. The event was well received by the community, with representatives from the Bura Women Development Association, Rehab, Lawan James, among others, expressing gratitude to the government for bringing the program to their domain, thereby making their dreams a reality. Director General of NDE, Silas Agara, represented by Mohammed Usman, announced that Borno is lucky to be one of the 7 states to benefit from the labor-based infrastructural development scheme known as a Community Development Training Center.
After the completion of the project, they are also going to enjoy the lock-up shop for the community.
Former chairman of our local government council, Inu Obuala, also thanked the federal government for the project.
One will open our heart to see the joy that is there. One will know that we are very elated and we remain grateful.
The labor-based infrastructural development scheme is designed to provide skills training and employment opportunities for unemployed youths and women in rural areas, including the construction of market stalls, roads, and other community infrastructure. In Maiduguri, Abubakar Musa, NTA News.
as youth join forces with relevant authorities to wage a war battle against drug abuse in the state. Abbas Mekono reports that one of the ways adopted is youth mobilization awareness campaigns.
The National Directorate of Employment, NTA, renewed its efforts to create employment opportunities for unemployed Nigerians, with Borno as one of the beneficiaries, where foundation-laying ceremony for the national locked-up shops took place in Agabura, Kawu local government area. The event was well received by the community, with representatives from the Bura Women Development Association, Rehab, Lawan James, among others, expressing gratitude to the government for bringing the program to their domain, thereby making their dream.
With nearly 300 million people from across the globe suffering from drug abuse disorders due to addiction, according to statistics, the war against drug abuse necessitated a call for action from all and sundry. It is a realization of this that youth in Gombe State, under the umbrella of AZJ Youth Mobilization and Awareness, in conjunction with the State Command of NDLEA, gathered other stakeholders for a one-day sensitization campaign on the dangers of drug abuse. Representatives of religious and opinion leaders, as well as other relevant organizations, discussed exhaustively on the negative impact of drug abuse and the way forward.
Drug abuse is on the increase, of which we have a statistic of 14.3 million people that abuse substances. Because of that, this awareness is very key to the society.
This organization now decided to kind of bring people together, youth especially together, pastors and imams to come and preach on the issues of the dangers of drug abuse. And this actually is making a headway.
Those vendors, they are not around within the towns also. They go to as far as remote villages to be supplying these drugs. So they have to fasten up and make sure they go to remote villages and arrest those drug dealers.
Drug abuse and illicit trafficking is a global problem that requires a collective response by raising awareness and supporting those affected. In Gombe, Abbas Mekono, NTA News.
We sincerely apologize for the mix-up there. That does it from Maiduguri. Nationwide continues with Ayodeji in Abuja.
Thanks, Ladidi, in our Maiduguri Network Center. From Borno State, let's go over to Plateau State, where the government there has confirmed an outbreak of Lassa fever in Kanam local government area of the state, with 1 death and 20 suspected cases. Bilkisu Nuhu has details.
Fever was reported in Takwak, a rural community in Kanam local government area of Plateau State. Worried over the situation, the government swung into action as a delegation of experts from the State Ministry of Health, World Health Organization, Nigeria Center for Disease Control, and other partners visited the area to assess the situation and find workable solutions to the health challenge. The State Commissioner for Health emphasized on the importance of good hygiene practice, such as environmental cleanliness. The Emir of Kanam and the local government council appreciate the state government for prompt intervention.
My call here is to the local government to put more efforts in information management so that enlightenment campaigns on what is expected for the larger population in trying to curtail all these outbreaks and others.
When healthcare workers will be coming to Ghana, local government to provide their services, we want them to account all the necessary support.
In Jos, Bilkisu Nuhu, NTA News.
Strengthening primary healthcare systems holds the potential to prevent premature death among Nigerians. In Kogi State, this critical sector has become a key focus for government investments. Jonathan Omajali in this report takes a look at efforts to transform primary healthcare services and ensure they are accessible to the people.
primary health care has the potential to address 80 to 90% of a population's health needs.
PHC system is a bedrock to achieving all health goals.
And because of this, there's reduction in patients, clients coming here. Not only that, some as a result of staffing that is so low, cannot even run the shift.
The current administration's decision to revitalize primary healthcare facilities across the state therefore represents a transformative step forward.
Kogi State government is committed to revitalizing our PHC system. We have already revitalized over 70 PHC directly.
On behalf of the other contractors here present, I want to greatly assure you that we will never disappoint you.
With over 7 billion naira already allocated to the project and stakeholders pledging their support, the primary healthcare sector in Kogi State is poised for improvement within the next 4 months. In Lokoja, Jonathan Omajali, NTA News.
Now we'll go back to Lokoja to join Jonathan Omajali, who is at the Ministry of Health in Lokoja. Jonathan, you just mentioned in the next 4 months that we're expecting some drastic changes in the primary healthcare sector in the states. Can you bring us up to speed?
Yes, of course. In the next 4 months, we expect drastic change in the primary health care sector. And according to stakeholders, very soon we'll begin to see reduction in the long queues at major hospitals like the Specialist Hospital and FMC in the state capital. Some of the patients travel from very far local government to the state for treatment that could have been taken care of at very functional primary health care centers. And so what the state government, in partnership with the World Bank Impact Project is doing, is to upgrade 88 primary health care facilities to level 2 functional facilities. What that means is that these 88 primary health care are going to run for 24 hours. They will have portable water, of course, security, and alternative power supply, as well as residential building within the hospital premises. All of these will be very crucial because we expect to see a reduction in maternal and infant mortality rate, increase in immunization, health awareness, and of course, better health services for people at the grassroots.
And Omajali at the Ministry of Health, Kogi State out there in Lokoja, thanks so much for the updates on concerted efforts to revitalize primary healthcare system in the state. From Kogi State, we go to our Ibadan Network Center, and Kemi has the next set of reports.
Ayodeji, and welcome to Ibadan. Students of the College of Medicine, University of Ibadan, have expressed their displeasure over the prolonged blackout of over 80 days on their campus. They are appealing to the University of Ibadan as well as the University College Hospital to promptly address the issue. Kehinde Omolosho completes the report.
The protesting students gathered at the main entrance of the University College Hospital and the College of Medicine before moving through major roads in Ibadan metropolis. They are concerned about the impact of the blackout on their academic activities.
We have had consultation, we have had to consolidate, and today we are out for peaceful demonstration. Our concern is how will light return to UCH? How will light return to other healthcare facilities who do not have light today?
Immediate restoration of light to University College Hospital and all hospitals in Nigeria who are currently facing the same blackout. Yes. Number two, the implementation of the 50% discounts of tariff announced by the Ministry of Power last year in August.
The students were also at the State Secretariat to press home their demands and present a letter to the government of Oyo State.
Well, let me commend their actions that they came out peacefully and they are not destroying any government property or causing problem. They know the governor we have. He doesn't want anybody to suffer even for a second, and that this prayer will surely get to the SNSC. He will surely know what to do about it.
The University College Hospital has been battling a prolonged blackout due to outstanding debt hold the Ibadan Electricity Distribution Company, which has severely impacted the medical students. Kehinde Omolosho, NTA News.
Extreme heat waves arising from increasingly severe weather conditions have steadily become worse across the country. Medical experts in this report says changes in weather pattern can have severe and potentially life-threatening health effects. Mfonobo Intero has the details.
Ibadan experiences a tropical savanna climate characterized by consistently high temperature and humidity. The city's weather can be quite challenging, especially during the hot, dry season and the wet season. Some residents of Ibadan spoke on how the weather affects them.
If I hardly sleep at night, it affects my children. I will have to pull off their clothes and be mopping them with water.
The weather is okay. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. It's normal.
Personally, I cannot wear any clothes in the night. I used to put off everything so that I will have a very sound sleep.
Not too bad, so it's more or less fair to our body.
But how can this be managed?
Concerning our children, even if they are going to school now, we need to give them much water, even an adult, and they need to take their bath. If they are feeling heat, go to nearby hospital.
Maintaining a healthy lifestyle will go a long way in coping with the harsh weather. In Ibadan, Mfonobo Intero, NTA News.
And that's it from Ibadan. More reports on Nationwide with Charles in Makudi after the break. Just stay with us.
Major currency unit is the Naira.
You're welcome back from that break. Let's tell you that the African Center for Leadership, Strategy and Development and other partners in building bridges for democracy and good governance have proposed a high-level panel to digest some burning issues around the nation's democracy since its return in 1999. The civil society organization said the purpose is to bring together key players, including INEC, in the race to attain a better political culture that will strengthen democracy and reinforce integrity, accountability, public trust, and citizens' participation.
Includes fostering the development of political parties that are truly representative, open to internal democracy, and accountable to the people. By addressing these issues, we envision political parties that champion the voice and needs of Nigerians, providing viable choices for leadership and governance.
The proposed conference is a sustained effort towards rebuilding democracy through active engagement and persistent advocacy. Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, has officially performed the groundbreaking ceremony of XeJet's state-of-the-art flight support and engineering facility in Abuja, with the hope of elevating Nigeria's aviation services to global standards. At the ceremony, the minister applauded the initiative, which is capable of providing support services for flights, including handling, fueling, and maintenance, as well as providing training services for aviation professionals, including pilots, engineers, and technicians. The project, which will be constructed by the China Civil Engineering Construction Corporation, CCECC, in collaboration with other partners, is expected to enhance operational efficiency, attract investment, and support Nigeria's long-term economic growth. In a related development, Minister Keyamo visited the Ekiti Agro-Allied International Cargo Airport to inspect facilities and assess its readiness for operations. Keyamo expressed his satisfaction with the airport's state-of-the-art facilities, commending Ekiti State's government for its efforts in developing the airport. The Ekiti Agro-Allied International Cargo Airport is expected to play a significant role in promoting agriculture, commerce, and tourism in the country. Kano State government says it is committed to the completion and operationalization of the Dakasale and other trailer parks across the state to decongest the highways. Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf made this announcement during an inspection visit to the site. Abdullahi Mustafa has the details.
Dakasale in Bebeji local government area stands as the site of one of the 3 long-abandoned trailer park projects initiated by Kano State government. The other 2 sites located in Dawano, Dawakintofa and Gunduse in Kura were also part of an ambitious plan to reduce traffic congestion and the frequent road accidents caused by the unchecked parking of articulated vehicles along busy highways. Governor Yusuf visited the Dakasale facility to assess its current condition as the state government prepares to revive the project and bring it to operational status. During the visit, he issued a stern directive to revoke any illegal land allocations or sales that had hindered the project's progress. In Kano, Abdullahi Mustafa, NTA News.
All right, let's move on from Kano back here in Abuja to tell you that the Association of Resident Doctors, Federal Capital Territory Administration, is on a 3-day warning strike to protest what they say are unpaid salaries, allowances, and other unmet demands. Health correspondent Serafina Okon-Omekwe reports that the strike has disrupted services in government hospitals across Abuja.
Visits to Kuje, Nyanya, Karu, and Asokoro General Hospitals in the FCT revealed widespread compliance with the warning strike. In a telephone conversation, the leadership of resident doctors described doctors in Abuja as abandoned projects and urged the minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, to intervene promptly. They warned that failure to address their concerns could lead to an indefinite shutdown of hospital activities, although emergency services remain uninterrupted.
I came for scan, and afterwards I was supposed to see a doctor, but after doing the scan, they said that they are on strike. And the doctor was not on set to see me, so they said I should come back tomorrow.
Doctors are not on duty, and so it's not no services. It's only some of the nurses and the record departments are around, but the doctors are not available to render services.
Government officials were, however, not available to respond to the matter, as they were all away on official assignment. Day 1 of the 3-day industrial action embarked upon by the FCT resident doctors, pressing home their demand for a better pay. We've actually seen patients leaving the hospital feeling disappointed. Even those on appointment who ought to have seen their doctors today for follow-up are not able to do that as a result of the strike. But meanwhile, behind the camera, the hospital management has told us that they are actually rendering skeletal services. In Abuja, Serafina Okon-Omekwe, NTA News.
In the once thriving pepper farms of Kebbi State, a devastating disease has attacked many pepper farms, leaving a trail of poor harvests and shattered livelihoods. The whitefly transmitted virus started attacking the farms about a week ago, but spread beyond the control of the farmers. Osman Abdullah Shehu has more.
Farmers in Kebbi State are experiencing unprecedented loss on their farms as a disease known to be caused by whiteflies is ravaging their crops. The outbreak, which is spreading rapidly, is destroying the pepper plants before they even reach harvest, leaving farmers with significant losses.
The losses cannot be quantified.
I've invested so much time and money into my farm, but I just can't seem to make it work. We have done all we could. If care is not taken, we risk losing an entire season's harvest.
The disease, known as whiteflies transmitted virus, is highly contagious and can spread quickly from plant to plant and from one farm to the other. The disease manifests on the leaves of the crops, covering it with sweetening substance.
When we have clean seed, good seed that is resistant to pests and diseases of hot pepper or sweet pepper, we will reduce the problem of that infection. And we have to do continuous spraying of chemicals.
Farmers have tried using various chemicals to control the whitefly disease, but the insects have developed a resistance to most of them. NTA.
Now let's reconnect with Usman Abdullahi Shehu in Kebbi State there to give more insight into this whitefly disease, which obviously is a threat to food security in the country. And for most people, including me, who love to consume pepper a lot, with this latest development, how are efforts on there to ensure that the resistance is quashed?
Ayodeji, most of the problem, right now is that the farmers, they don't even know where to go. That's the challenge, because some of them are just layman farmers. They don't have much knowledge pertaining this thing. But if you go to areas around Kebbi, Jega, Langido, and many parts of the state, they are experiencing the same problem, which most of them. There was a farmer that I spoke to. He said he sell about 2 of his cows to put the money into the farm, but at the end of the day, he have to abandon the farm. But with me here is an expert on agriculture, an agricultural extension officer from the State Ministry of Agriculture, Malam Umar Bagudu, who will like to tell us more about the issue. Malam Bagudu. What can you tell us? What can you tell us about this particular outbreak disease, and how can the farmers solve this problem?
Good evening, our viewers. My name is Umar Bagudu from Ministry of Agriculture, Kebbi State. What we have realized is that our farmers are lacking knowledge on improved agricultural practices. What was happening now, as right now where we are, we have seen an infestation by aphids known as whiteflies. These whiteflies are small flies, moth-like insect that can infest pepper plant. They can feed underneath of the leaves, sucking sap and leaving behind a sticky sap called honeydew. As you can see, this is the honeydew they left with a mold. Apart from what whiteflies causes, these whiteflies can lead to the disease infestation known as fusarium wilt. So this thing, what we are trying to do is to enlighten our farmers on and to train them on good agricultural practice, and that is what we are doing now. Right now, we are doing it. We are on vegetable production in almost a just target program in 5 local governments. Kalgo is part of it. So we have succeeded in doing that, and that is why people are calling us. We have extension agents everywhere. So our extension agents are disseminating information to our farmers.
So Malam Bagudu, how can these farmers overcome this outbreak?
Yes, through enlightenment. We told them what to do. Number one, just to talk briefly, you see this farm where we are, the sanitation, this sanitation is too bushy, if you can see. The vegetation, flies are housed on those vegetation. So we need to inform our farmers that they need a good farm sanitation. There's a good farm sanitation. Use of improved variety of seed. Use of improved seed. Then we taught them good agricultural practices. When there is infestation and the infestation is beyond a threshold level, we told them to spray with chemical. Although we don't encourage farmers spraying with chemical because we want to encourage our farmers to do organic farming. But when the infestation reaches threshold level, that's whole way we have to tell our farmers to spray with chemicals.
Thank you very much, Malam Bagudu. Back to you, studio.
Usman Abdullahi Shehu, I'd like to thank you for the update and interaction there on what needs to be done by farmers to reduce the impact of the fly. Thank you very much. The federal government says its vision for Nigeria Community Action for Resilience and Economic Stimulus Program is to build a robust shock response system, particularly at the sub-national levels, to tackle poverty, marginalization, and economic exclusion. This was at a stakeholders' consultative meeting to finalize the design of NG Cares 2.0 program, soon to be launched. Neka Oko reports.
The journey, which began with NG Cares 1.0, a $750 million World Bank-assisted initiative, has already made an impact on the lives of more than 15 million poor and vulnerable Nigerians in the last 4 years. With the winding down of the first phase of the program, stakeholders are convening to finalize the design for the next stage, tagged NG Cares 2.0.
This system will not only respond to shocks, but also serve as a veritable tool, a veritable platform for addressing the very pervasive challenges of poverty, marginalization, and economic inclusion of the poor and vulnerable segment of the society.
With focus on strengthening shock response systems, the NG Cares 2.0 program is believed to have the potential to transform more lives. This consultative meeting is to review the agreement reached so far with a view to coming up with practical and actionable recommendations that would make the program more impactful and sustainable.
Nigeria's story must be different. China has done it. 300 million people removed, out of poverty. India has done it. And Nigeria has the capacity to even do better than that.
So we have no choice but to deliver on 2.0 with very tight timeline.
The NG Cares program 1.0 is expected to end on May 31st, 2025. In Abuja, Nakaoku, NTA News.
The air component of Operation Fasanyama has recorded another significant achievement in its counter-terrorism campaign, neutralizing many bandits and dismantling their logistics base at Alawa Forest in Shiroro local government area of Niger State. A statement by Director Public Relations Air Vice Marshal Olushola Akimboyewa indicates that intelligence reports revealed the presence of armed terrorists in the forests, and the Air Force dispatched fighter aircraft to execute air interdiction missions in the area. The statement adds that numerous fighters were neutralized, confirmed by multiple secondary explosions. These criminals have been linked to widespread violence, including 2 improvised explosive device attacks on December 19, 2024 in Bassa, Shiroro local government area of the state, which claimed several innocent lives. The Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, has arrested illegal miners for illegally mining lead and zinc without license in Ebonyi State. Correspondent Fortunate also reports that a gas plant was also sealed for being situated in a densely populated area without license.
The martial operation by the Ebonyi State Command of Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps (NSCDC) at the illegal lead and zinc mining site at Eka in Ezza North local government area was as a result of a tip-off leading to the arrest of 3 suspects. The State Commandant, Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, Francis Nnadi, revealed that one Monday Nweke purportedly gave out the land on lease at the cost of 10 million naira, but the buyers have invested close to 40 million naira on the illegal operation.
These are places where the state generates revenue and the federal generates revenue. Will not allow people to keep tapping from these natural resources illegally.
In a similar development, of micro gas plant was also sealed at 135 Izambo in Ohuku local government area of the state, where Commandant Nnadi expressed displeasure over the sighting of the highly inflammable Blue Flame LPG gas plant at a densely populated area.
LPG gases are highly inflammable. You don't allow them within residential buildings like this without the good measures, safety measures applied.
All the suspects in both cases would be arraigned in court after investigation. In Abakaliki, Fortunate Ozo, NTA News.
And that's nationwide. I'd like to thank you for watching. I'm Ayo Deji, Makinde on behalf of the entire production crew. Good evening.